everybody around you is going to tell you why you can't do it or why they couldn't do it. That's their opinion. That was their road. This is your road alone, and only you can decide which route you take. And that's the business I'm in. I'm in the business of helping people find that road. I want to watch you grow. I want to watch you overcome things, and we are going to celebrate your victories together. This is the Savage Hour Podcast. We take you inside the mind of fighters, athletes, and entrepreneurs. Don't miss an episode. Follow and subscribe. It's funny, when people ask me all the time, what do you do for a living? And there's so many hats that I could say. I could say that, I'm a professional fighter, retired professional fighter. I'm a coach. I'm a gym owner. And none of that even really feels like that's the right answer. To be honest, when I really sit and think about it, the answer is simple. I'm in the business of building champions. And what that means is doesn't mean that necessarily I'm even talking about fighters. I'm talking about the champion spirit. There's certain things that I try to instill in everybody that I come into contact with, and it really comes down to a mentality. That's what I try to build in people. I want to build the idea that you can champion anything that you want to do or that you want to become in your life or in your daily routine. It really is that simple if you understand the thought process of that. And whether I am talking about athletes or I'm talking about business or I'm just talking about people at their daily lives, is owning what you do every day. Evaluate yourself. That's one of the biggest things that I think a champion has to do, is you have to self-evaluate. You have to give yourself a realistic review of what you're doing, what you want, and what you've done to get there. I think that's something that we also don't give ourselves enough credit for, is looking back and seeing what you've actually done. What have you done to get to where you are right now? What have you done that's given you some sort of sense of accomplishment? And that's where the idea of being a champion comes from. There's so many people that are afraid of failure, so they don't want to actually try to pursue anything. I mean, I'm guilty of that. You're guilty of that. We all are. We're all guilty of not wanting to do things because of the fear of failure, the fear of I don't have the tools. And that's why I'm such a big advocate of planning and structuring and doing your goals and looking at your notes and doing that daily, because you have to consistently look at it and get motivated by what's in front of you. And the goals that you set, let's be honest, you need to set goals that you do not know how you're even going to achieve it. If you are a up-and-coming, I'm going to use fighting because that's my industry. If you're an up-and-coming fighter, whether it's jiu-jitsu or mixed martial arts or boxing or Muay Thai, and you want to become world champion, but yet you've never even competed, how are you going to do that? Just because you say that you want to become world champion? No, it doesn't work that way. You set that goal, and then you start working towards it, no matter how long it's going to take to get there. And you're going to have tons of trials and tribulations, and that's the way it's going to work. You're going to fail over and over and over again, and then all of a sudden you take one step forward. And that's what happens with all of us. Like the things that I'm excited about now are completely different than the things that I was excited about when I was fighting, as a career, which are completely different things that I was excited about when I was a kid and I wanted to just get out of the house. And that's the industry that I'm in now. I'm in the industry of building champions. I want people that are the ones that didn't know that they could do something, and now all of a sudden they feel like they're on top of the world and they can accomplish anything. That's what gives me the greatest feeling in the world, is being able to see other people achieve things that they didn't think that they could before. I've got all these athletes in my room that I've seen come in, I've seen them grow in areas. They come in as a striker, somebody who's good at boxing or kickboxing that doesn't like jiu-jitsu. Now all of a sudden they are identifying themselves as a grappler because they've seen what it's done to their game. They've seen themselves grow, and now they see what they are capable of just because they've put themselves in an uncomfortable situation to allow themselves to grow into a much better situation. And that's what all of us do. Nothing is going to be comfortable for us until we realize that we have to allow ourselves to be uncomfortable in order to get there. That's the secret ingredient. By consistently putting yourself out there and taking challenges. Like, it sucks to lose. None of us like to lose. But if we've given it all we've got, or even if we didn't, it allowed us to learn a new way of doing something, and that got us even closer. We've learned a new way that I can't do this to try to succeed. We've learned a new tool that I didn't have before, or that I have to go back and learn in order to achieve that. The formula is the same no matter what you apply it to. If you want to raise your work, you got to evaluate, okay, what are you doing? What are the people on the next level doing? And how can I get there? Not only how can I get there, how can I supersede that? How can I advance beyond them? What is it that you want to do? Not just because you're looking for validation from a boss. It doesn't work that way. This has to work within yourself. You have to understand what it is that you want to achieve. That's it. And then once you self-internalize that and you look inside yourself, okay, do I really want this bad enough? What do I need to change in my daily life in order for me to get there? Make those adjustments, and then all of a sudden you're going to start seeing things change. Once you even have the tools to get there, you might not even want that anymore. But at least you pursued it. You started allowing yourself to get the opportunity that you could make things change. But if you do not actually look inward and look at yourself, it's never going to happen. Don't be afraid to be a champion. Don't be afraid to take risks. Don't be afraid to do things that you don't know the answers to. That's where the excitement is. When we're in this journey that we're on right now, all of us have this journey. You know, I can't do what a lot of people do, and that's follow the lead of somebody else. It doesn't work like that for me. I want to be able to say, okay, that's what they did, that was their path. I'm gonna go on my own path and hopefully blaze a fucking trail along the way that I'm doing it. Now it's gonna be a squiggly line. It's not gonna be a straight road. I know that. It's been that way ever since I started my career. Hell, I got into this, when I got into combat sports, I was a professional artist before that. That's where I thought I was going. That's a completely different road than punching somebody in the face for a living. But the road isn't always straight, it's squiggly lines. But as long as you're going in a direction that you know you are directing, that's where the reward is. Taking the risks. I've failed more times than I can even try to put in my brain. But those failures have allowed me to have those glimpses of success. It gives me a purpose. It gives me a reason to get out of bed. It gives me a reason to be excited. And to be honest, it gives me a reason to talk to other people. Because watching them go through their journey and go through their trials and go through their troubles, getting past that motivates me even more. And it gets me excited every single day. And that's really the secret ingredient. Right there is the excitement every day. Get out of bed excited, go to bed excited to start the day again because of the challenges that are in front of you. If you're bored every day and there's no growth, there's no fear of overcoming, if there's no challenges in front of you, what's going to motivate you to do anything other than sit on your ass and complain? There are way too many fucking complainers in this world. Everybody that wants to make excuses why other people can do things. No, fuck that. You cannot base your reality off what other people are doing. You got to do it for yourself. Everybody around you is going to tell you why you can't do it or why they couldn't do it. That's their opinion. That was their road. This is your road alone, and only you can decide which route you take. And that's the business I'm in. I'm in the business of helping people find that road. I want to watch you grow. I want to watch you overcome things, and we are going to celebrate your victories together. That's where the unity comes in. None of us is going to do this in a road alone. Collectively, we can do incredible things, and it takes a whole army to make things go beyond levels that we knew we could do, because you have to have the resources, you have to have the support. And if you don't have the right support around you, leave the distractions and find new resources. There's tons of stuff online, there's tons of people, there's tons of new environments. Sometimes you have to break the comfortability of who you're around. The toxicity in most of our daily lives is usually what's holding us down. You have people around you that are telling you to do this and telling you to do that. That's only because they don't want to do it for themselves. You have to evaluate your scenario. You have to evaluate the community that you're surrounded in and realize, is this conducive for me to be a champion? Whatever you find value of what a champion is, are you doing those things to allow you to get you there? Think about that. Put that into your foresight. Close your eyes and really think about that hard. What do you want? What am I doing to get there? And what can I bring into my life to allow me to get there even faster? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you like this episode, do us a favor, hit that subscribe button, share it with your friends, and follow us across the social media platforms. Remember, live life as a champion.